Covering news where you live, this is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here today for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. We begin today with an update to a story we've been covering all month long. Escaped jail inmate Jeremy Call has been arrested in Oklahoma. You see him right here on your screen. Now, you may remember Call escaped from the Crawford County Jail back in November. He was awaiting transfer to the Arkansas Department of Corrections after being convicted on 2 charges, theft by receiving and felon in possession of a firearm. Now, this was Call's 3rd time escaping. Early this month, detectives were able to secure a warrant for second-degree escape. And on Saturday, the sheriff's office posted on Facebook that Call had been found and arrested. He's currently being held at the Florida County Sheriff's Office. Meanwhile, Fort Smith police are investigating a shooting that took place around noon yesterday on Christmas. The shooting happened near the intersection of North Albert Pike and Grand Avenue. Police say 1 victim was taken to the hospital. At this time, though, the extent of their injuries are unknown. Police say it is an active investigation, though, and anyone with information regarding the shooting is asked to call the Fort Smith Police Department. For the latest information about the case, you can also visit our website at 5newsonline.com. We'll post any updates there. All right, before we get to more news, let's get a check of the weather with meteorologist Stephen Abshire. And Stephen, we're not going to be seeing temperatures like we did last week.
No, we're not, Joe. As we get later on throughout this week, we're going to see a real warm-up, and I mean into the 50s and 60s. For today, though, for your Boxing Day, it's not going to be quite that warm, but still a little bit warmer than where we were earlier this weekend. Taking a look at what to expect, we're going to have temperatures into the 30s for Northwest Arkansas, 37 in Fayetteville, and in Bentonville, 38 in Huntsville, and then in the River Valley into the 40s, 44 in Fort Smith, and 46 in Waldron for a high today. And we're going to have a little bit less cloud coverage as we move through today, and then into the overnight, it's going to be much cooler because we're going to have a cold front move through later on this afternoon and into this evening. For tomorrow, Northwest Arkansas is going to start out very, very chilly into the teens for the morning, then get into the 40s as we head into the afternoon with a little bit more sunshine on the way as we get into Tuesday. Taking a look what to expect for the River Valley, they're going to be in the 40s as well with a little bit more sunshine and clear as we get into the overnight tomorrow, but not quite as cool as we get into Wednesday morning. But Wednesday is really going to be the start of that warm-up. On Tuesday, high temperatures are going to be into the 40s, like I mentioned, but by the same time on Wednesday, 10 to 15 degrees warmer into the 50s. And then as we get into Thursday, could see some 60s on the way as we start out the beginning of the holiday weekend. As we move into Friday and Saturday, those 60s are going to stick around as well. But we're also going to have some rain chances on the way as we get into Thursday night and into Friday. We're going to keep an eye on this system. If this moves a little bit farther to the west, we could see some more widespread rain. But for now, we just have a few chances for rain starting on Thursday, heading into Friday, then another system on the way during the weekend. Taking a look what to expect for Northwest Arkansas over the next 7 days. We can see that warm-up is very apparent from the 30s into the 60s from Monday into Thursday. Then we're going to stick above average throughout the rest of the week into the start of 2023 with some rain chances on the way for Saturday, but looking not too bad as we get into Sunday. Taking a look at the River Valley, it's going to be into the upper 60s on Thursday. Rain chances on Thursday night heading into Friday morning. Then another chance for some showers as we get into Saturday, but not too bad as well as we get into Sunday with temperatures right around 60 degrees for the River Valley. That's all I have for today. Now I'm going to send it back over to Joe with a look at today's headlines.
All right, thanks so much, Stephen. And we're keeping an eye on 2 fires that happened over the weekend. The first was in downtown Fayetteville when crews got to the scene. They saw heavy smoke and large flames out of the top of a building. And in Oklahoma, this right here, this picture came from there. Muldrow Roland Fire Departments responded to a house fire that actually happened on Sunday evening. The Roland Fire Department said on their Facebook page that the structure is a total loss. No word yet on injuries at this time. Now, we got the chance to speak with some firefighters this weekend about the challenges they face trying to contain fires like those you saw in this brutally cold weather. 5 News reporter Rachel Williams has the story.
Whether it's 100 degrees outside or below freezing, firefighters are out battling flames, but say during the winter it's more difficult and dangerous.
When you have these temperature extremes, it not only is tough on the body of a firefighter, meaning that we have to rehabilitate them, we may have to send additional firefighters to incidents that we normally wouldn't. It also means that the scene itself is just much more risky.
Putting out fires is not only difficult on their body, but on their equipment as well.
Of course, the main thing we use to put out fires is water, and water likes to freeze when it gets below freezing. So Our pumps will freeze up. The air bottles that we wear on our back, which we breathe to not breathe in the smoke, those will freeze up, making bottle changes extremely difficult.
When they're not serving the community, the Rogers Fire Department has their own traditions of staying in the holiday spirit.
Every year, some of the firefighters that work there will dress up in holiday-themed attire, and they go out and have a good time. And eventually, that expanded even into the formal operations of the department. So, our social media now captures what is our honorary Santa.
It started a few years ago as fun, but later became a part of the culture.
We count down to Christmas using just the numbers of our stations. It's lighthearted, a little bit of an opportunity maybe for the community to see some of their tax money at work.
Chief Jenkins say firefighters spend about a third of their life working and living in fire stations, so the holidays are special for them.
I think when you're away from your family, it's important to have a culture that makes you excited to come to work. It's unfortunate that we're away from our families at the holiday times, but we try our best to make it an enjoyable experience, and this is kind of like our second family.
In Rogers, covering news where you live, Rachel Williams, 5 News.
Now, when they're not busy putting out fires, firemen like those here may be working to keep your pets safe from the cold. In Oklahoma, firefighters came to the aid of a dog owner trying to save their pup after it fell through a frozen lake. That's according to the Oklahoma City Fire Department. Now, the department said its crews were called to the scene. The dog owner was holding a rope attached to the dog already. Firefighters used a paddle boat to rescue the dog and bring it back to shore. Now, thankfully, the dog had no apparent injuries. The rescue took place as temperatures were dipping in Oklahoma on Christmas Eve. Now, the sparkly, colorful things that make the holiday season bright can also make for a big mess, which is why it's important to know how to properly discard your old Christmas decorations. Now, if it's simple, printed wrapping paper, you can recycle it. Though if it's metallic, glittery, or coated in film, however, you'll have to throw it away. Other recyclable items include reusable bags, bows, and ribbons. Now, some stores let you reload those used gift cards with cash and reuse them, though the cards themselves cannot usually be recycled. Another thing to keep in mind, you should not put your recycling in a bag before putting it in the bin. Now, all this leaves still one question: what to do with those real Christmas trees? Should you put it in the trash, or can it be recycled as well? Our National Verify team has the answer.
What should you do with your Christmas tree once the decorations come off? Well, according to Google Search Trends data, many people research their tree disposal options in the days immediately after Christmas. So let's verify. Can you recycle a real Christmas tree? Our sources are the National Christmas Tree Association, Waste Management, a trash collection company, and the Home Depot. Yes, Christmas trees are recyclable, but your options for recycling them differ based on where you live. An article from the National Christmas Tree Association says, quote, "After the holidays, don't throw your real Christmas tree in the trash. They're biodegradable, which means they can be easily reused or recycled for mulch and other purposes." Now, how recycling is handled depends on where you live. Some programs are free, but some may charge you a one-time fee, according to Waste Management. So before you drag that tree out to the curb, check the guidelines for your area's tree recycling program. Now, if you have a particularly large tree, the Home Depot warns you may have to cut it down to meet size limits. Now, if you can't recycle your live tree for whatever reason, throwing it out, while not ideal, is your next best option. But whatever you do, the Home Depot says, don't use it as wood for your fireplace. That's because Christmas trees produce a lot of creosote, which can build up on chimney walls and possibly ignite and cause a house fire. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
Well, thank you for joining us here on this Monday for the latest news and weather where you live. Make sure to catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more. Have a great day.